In this video, I just want to introduce you to using some of the cast to class nodes. So in the previous examples, we have just used the blue node static mesh. So now these are the purple ones, which are class based. And understanding the structure of classes gives you then a control over the hierarchy of the objects that you can affect. So just to explain what we have in here in this blueprint, we have our onBegin overlap box. Now I have an object array in which I have an actor sphere, a cylinder blueprint and a cone blueprint. That will make sense in a moment. And I have got an index, which I'm just changing in editor, but of course this can be changed dynamically and therefore then change the filter of which this begin overlap tries to qualify which object triggers the condition. And in here, our condition is just changing the material on the object. And then we're simply changing the material to white when we end overlap on the box collision. Now, I have got cast to static mesh actor as the main class. Now, coming back to our viewport, this actor is the only static mesh actor. These are actors. This is a static mesh actor. So if we look at the blueprint, this has a parent class of static mesh actor. These have got a parent class of actor. Static mesh actor class is a subclass of actor class. So when we run our example, let me just make sure my index is set to 1. If I press play and then move my static mesh, it's not going to do anything, but then it's going to change materials as I come to static mesh actor 1. Now if I change the index to 0, it's not going to change because this isn't a static mesh actor, it's an actor. And similarly, if I change that index to 2, nothing's going to change. Okay, so static mesh actor class was our filter. Now if I come to cast to actor class, which was the tier above static mesh actor class in terms of hierarchy, and if I plug all those in, and let me just remove that node for the moment, we're now casting to actor class, of which each of those objects qualifies. So let's run the example. We have index 0 selected. Press play. Index 0 triggers. The others don't because I'm filtering out by index number. I'm just selecting that one in the array. But if in my gameplay something changes, I've got a power up and now I can pick up object 1, then I can do that. Or all instances of object 2. So using the actor class, I can now also access the subclass of static mesh actor class. So we're dealing with actor. There are of course a whole host. If I just disconnect that, looking at the cast to actor class node, you can of course cast to any of these. I've just created an array out of my own actors, but have a look through here and sort of see what fits within the actor class, and indeed also look at what static mesh elements are. So it's a good way of kind of understanding what are the subsets of that class. Now a class that sits above everything is the object class. So the interaction will be exactly the same because actor is a subclass of object. And this is just to sort of demonstrate this hierarchy that we're looking at here. Let me just make sure everything is plugged in as before. And I didn't check to see index 0 is selected, so that will change. If I change the index to 2. So cast to object class is a kind of catch-all, really, it seems. I've not used it in a kind of practical application, but having thought about it and was looking through the cast to list, I just thought, hang on a minute, that sits above everything. Now, a couple of things to bear in mind. Our overlap on component begin overlap is dependent on a couple of things. So, for example, if I create another static mesh and drop that in and convert that to an actor, you'll note that if I look at this static mesh down here in the details panel and come to collision, generate overlap event is switched off. So if I want to create a blueprint out of that static mesh actor, I can come up to convert selection to blueprint class. Automatically it selects static mesh actor. If I select that, it inherits those settings. So collision does not have generate overlap event on, so do turn that on. But if I come and create an empty actor, for example, and then add a cylinder here and do it that way around, now it does have generate overlap events selected already, because the actor class has generate overlap events enabled when you add a static mesh component. So if you want any interactions to happen between objects, make sure your generate overlap events checkbox is checked. So I hope that video is of use. If so, please do like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to receive any updates. And thank you for your support.